unknown civilization, or are they UFOs? Who sent signals to the Navy from the depths of the oceans? During the Cold War, the US and the Soviet Navy had been encountering strange sounds from the depths of the ocean off the coast of Norway. Both superpowers put huge efforts into hiding their submarines and into detecting the other side's submarines, and as a result, there were huge advances in the technology required for listening for any signals from the ocean depths. As a result, the two navies heard some unusual things. From the mid-1970s onwards, Soviet submarine crews started to report strange sounds in the waters of the Arctic and North Atlantic Oceans. They were driven crazy by quakers, inexplicable unidentified underwater objects that moved underwater at a speed of 200 kilometers, 125 miles an hour, underwater. NATO assumed that it was Soviet submarines that made those noises, until finally one of the commanders of the Soviet Navy asked the Norwegians to catch at least one quaker for him at all costs and promised to reward the Norwegians for this. In 1991, the US submarine detection system picked up two unidentified signals at once in the Pacific Ocean. Scientists nicknamed one of them Upsweep and the other Whistle. Neither one nor the other could be identified. Upsweep appeared every spring and autumn, and its source was in the middle of the ocean, and Whistle was heard only once. In 1997, the US military and ocean explorers were alarmed at a strange signal, which was nicknamed Bloop. The US National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, recorded it through a roughly triangulated to a remote point in the South Pacific Ocean, west off the southern tip of South America. And the sound was detected several times by the Equatorial Pacific Ocean Autonomous Hydrophone Array. The bloop was heard at a range of over 5,000 kilometers and is several times louder than the blue whale, the loudest known underwater animal source. It was so strange that oceanologists began to joke that it was Chulhu, a fictional cosmic entity created by writer H.P. Lovecraft. Moreover, scientists could not guess what it was. It seemed like the sound was made by a gigantic living creature. Finally, scientists from NASA came to the conclusion that there are supposed glaciers rubbing against the bottom of the ocean. Oregon State University seismologist Robert Ziak confirmed that the bloop was just an ice quake. During the Soviet era, it was restricted to talk about UFOs and USOs, but when it got disintegrated, some files came up with shocking information about alien spacecraft. The declassified documents said that the Russian Navy found these unidentified objects, technologically superior to Earth vehicles. One of the undated accounts was a Soviet nuclear submarine encounter with the formation of 6 alien spacecraft in the south of the Pacific Ocean. At the depth of 260 meters, the 6 disc-like objects were moving towards the submarine at the speed of 426 kilometers per hour. The crew could not escape their pursuit, and the commander ordered the crew to rise to the surface. The crew saw through the periscope that the objects came out of the water and took off at absurdly fast speeds. According to former nuclear submarine commander Yuri Beketov, many mysterious events also took place in the Bermuda Triangle region. The devices failed for no apparent reason, and he believes that the UFOs were behind it. Perhaps they used electromagnetic EMP pulse. In translation, we have repeatedly observed that devices record the movement of material objects at an unimaginable speed. We measured some speeds. It's about 230 knots, that's 400 kilometers per hour. Such speed is difficult to create on the surface, only in the air, but there is gigantic resistance in the water, as if the laws of physics do not apply to these objects. There is only one conclusion. The creatures who created such material objects significantly surpass us in development, Beketov said. Another Navy intelligence captain, Igor Barkley, claimed that the unidentified submerged objects were seen in the places where the Russian Navy and NATO fleet are concentrated. He said these are the Bahamas and Bermuda, Puerto Rico, especially often UFOs are seen in the deepest region of the Atlantic, in the south of the Bermuda Triangle, and in the Caribbean. Whatsoever, something strange has been detected over the years in the oceans. There has been a spate of high-profile claims regarding U.S. Navy nuclear submarines detecting and even interacting with USOs. And the Drive writes, Tom DeLonge, once the lead man for the rock group Blink-182, turned frontman for To the Stars Academy, a flashy new hybrid entertainment technology research group that focuses on disclosure of information regarding UFOs, claimed without any evidence that a few years ago an unidentified craft was underwater and pinned against the North Atlantic coast by multiple nuclear attack submarines for over a week. The versions of extraterrestrial activity at Lake Baikal in Russia, edged by mountains and containing 1/5 of the world's unfrozen freshwater, relate to supposed aliens seen by military divers in its depth and large spaceships hovering over its gray, moody expanses. Some of the images show that the two photographers claim were UFO buzzing the lake, while others are mock-ups based on descriptions of an incident in Kudara Simon in Buryatia exactly a quarter of a century ago. Around the world, there are many places, and especially lakes, that are alleged to be the hot spots of objects that can fly and dive into the water. Can it be possible that there is some unknown civilization living under our oceans and lakes? And this is on Hows and Whys by Vicky Verma. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.